We're still recovering from Clay Aiken yesterday and all the Claymates. I hope you were with us. It was a fantastic concert. Well, Diane sat down with Clay afterwards and had a very intimate discussion with him about his personal battles against bullies and also antidepressants. So she'll talk to him later this morning.
And Clay Aiken, who says he just wanted to sing, raising tough questions about a year under tabloid attack and the toll it takes, how he copes.
Also coming up, we're just getting our hearing back after Clay Aiken and all the Claymates around here yesterday. It was such a morning. That golden voice made him a star. Coming up, you know, we were joking about how the late night comics and the things that they say, and you know, Clay's been a butt of a lot of their jokes, and that takes a toll after a while. And so he talked with Diane about that and also how he's dealing with being in the public eye and taking antidepressants. A very frank conversation you had with him afterwards.
Yeah, he's not whining at all. He's
No.
just raising questions about what it is to be in public life these days.
You're pretty good. Coming up next, Clay Aiken is back. He's going to reveal his struggle with dealing with bullies like those late night comics and also dealing with panic attacks, how he finally managed to get it all under control. He talks to Diane when we come back.
As Robin said, Clay Aiken pretty much tore the roof off this place yesterday, singing from his third new CD, 1,000 Different Ways. But today and tomorrow, we're going to turn to some questions he's been raising about America's tabloid culture. For instance, if you're famous, what can you and can you not be asked about your sex life? And is some of what we all do these days really just bullying on a larger scale?
Just didn't get it. Clay, don't take this the wrong way, but I prefer you when I shut my eyes. And
what does that mean? Oh my God, Simon!
It's a compliment.
No.
It was one thing to smile through those brutal poison darts fired off by Simon Cowell, yet another to be Clay Aiken this past year. As the tabloids took aim at everything from his sexual orientation to his mental equilibrium.
Clay Aiken. Clay Aiken.
Not to mention the nonstop assault by late-night comedians, jokes that suddenly don't seem that funny anymore.
Sorry about the jokes.
As we said, Clay Aiken decided to move back home to Raleigh.
And I went, what am I doing? I need to get out of Hollywood. I always prided myself on the fact that I was able to handle this on my own, pray about it, talk to my family, talk to my friends, and just get through it, you know, being tough.
The skinny kid bullied by his schoolmates. Later, his sister's suicide, the worry about his brother, a Marine now fighting in Iraq. And add to that the fame and ferocity of public inspection. All of it started to take a toll, a physical toll, when he walked into a room.
And I still don't understand it because it still happens sometimes. And I guess I just got to a point where I thought, okay, listen, you're not going crazy. I'm not going crazy. And so I talked to my doctor and I said, listen, here's the thing. I don't understand why I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack when I go in these rooms. I don't get it. When I am in the room, the walls are closing in on me and my heart races, and I didn't understand it. I would look back and say, why are your palms sweaty? What's the problem?
So these panic attacks, which is what they seem like, how you describe them, didn't occur on stage, didn't occur singing?
No. I've never get nervous up there. I don't have any stage fright.
He says he tried a series of medications, but the one he says works is a drug for depression and anxiety.
You know, the armchair psychologist, that would be me right
Would
now.
say, you're crazy.
No, would say somebody who was bullied as much as you were bullied growing up has that inside them. They never know walking in a room that they're not back there again.
I think that might have something to do with it. I've probably been bullied on a far larger scale since I've done this, you know?
Doctors will tell you that panic attacks are often complex, a bit mysterious, like his first, when his stepfather, Ray Parker, died several years ago. His mother remembered it in 2003.
Clayton had a really hard time with that. He was in emergency for about 3 hours before we could go back to the room and get things settled. But, you know, he took that very hard.
Interestingly, after they took me to the emergency room because I couldn't control myself, the doctor asked my older brother if I had had a good relationship with my dad, and he said, well, it was kind of strained. And he said that's interesting because he said I could tell because a lot of times people who don't have a great relationship with the deceased tend to take it harder, and I think that had a lot to do with regret. And I never got a chance to tell him that I loved him.
You're on Paxil.
Yeah. Yes. I'm not a fan of medicine.
But you're not worried about getting addicted to Paxil?
Not as much as I was on some of the others. You know, I mean, some of these other things where I would try something and then it would work, and then the next time I'd go back and okay, I think I need to take 2, or I think within a week.
But you're not doing therapy, other therapies that might get you off the medication?
No. I mean, nobody who I know, first of all, in North Carolina goes to see anybody.
Is that why? You're
And
not doing it?
everybody who I know in LA goes to see somebody. I mean, I don't want to do that.
But the kid everybody back home calls Clayton says he's not going to run and hide. He has that brand new album of love songs like 1,000 Days.
Well, now 1,000 days, 1,000 nights are not enough.
And he also loves being an ambassador for UNICEF, though a self-deprecating one, here in Uganda with kids who had to flee gorillas every night and had heard he was a singer.
And they sang a song for me, and they asked me to sing afterwards because they knew that I sang. And they had sung this, and you know, it was really impressive. And then they asked me to sing, and I looked around like, I don't know what to sing. And someone said, sing Bridge Over Troubled Water. I will dry them all. And I sang it, and they just laughed. So I was a comedy act for them that day.
And believe it or not, Clay Aiken is a certified news junkie who says his ultimate dream is still a talk show, turning the tables.
I can ask you, well, have you seen a therapist, Diane, recently?
What would you say my issues are?
Well, you obviously have a very busy schedule, you know. You get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And you don't go home until 9 o'clock at night. Why? Why would you continue to do it?
And you think it's a disorder,
I'm
my
not asking
career?
you.
You think my career is a neurosis? No.
Laughing one minute, vulnerable the next.
I think I'm pretty durable. But because but you know, you never. I mean, it's always something bigger. You know what I mean? I mean, those kids in middle school had nothing on the tabloid.
And tomorrow we will tackle what the papers are saying.
This is a waste of my time. I'm done.
And the question, what is fair and not fair when you hit public life?
Again, tomorrow, that question, what is fair and not fair about the sex lives of our celebrities. By the way, if you want to see Clay Aiken's concert yesterday, we're going to be sure that we put that online, and you can also catch his new video at abcnews.com anytime.